Hi all, in this video we will see what are all the SQL Server System Databases we have and how we can use them in our daily basis, and how these databases are beneficial for us to troubleshoot an issue and to gather the data from the SQL Server, and the core objects that we use in our relational databases. So these are the list of system databases in SQL Server: master, resource, temp database, model database, Msdb, distribution, report server, temp db. We will go through each and every system database in detail. First one is master database. Master database is the first database in the SQL Server startup process. It contains all the system level information for SQL Server, and the functionality is for instance configurations, databases residing on the instance, and the files for each database, login details and linked remote server details and endpoints. So we will see few system data that components that were stored in the master database. Here if you see, it contains all the system configuration settings details for SQL Server. To see the system configuration information, we have a table called system configs. Here I am connecting to SQL Server, where I will show you the list of system databases that we have. So by extending this in system databases folder, we can see the list of system databases. Those are master, model, Msdb and temp database. In master database, I am selecting the new query. So here the query is select star from sys configures. Select star from sys configures. So these are the configured values for sys configures. Default full text language, 2-digit year cutoff. So all these are by defaulted values in our system. Those were available in our sysconfigure table. And next, it contains all existing databases details for SQL Server. We can see them all the existing databases in sys databases table. Select star from sys databases. So these are the current available system databases: master, temp db, model db, Msdb, report server and report server temp database. And the login accounts, it also contains all the login account details for SQL Server. We can see the login account information by using the system defined table called sys logins. Select star from sys logins. So these are the already current logins that we have in our system. So these are the respective names. So this is the database name and this is encrypted password. And users, it contains all user details for SQL Server. We can see the user information from sys users table. So these are the current available system users: public, DPO, guest, information schema, sys, and others. And other details about master database: primary data of master database is stored in the master.mdf file, which default size is 11 MB, and master database log is stored in master log.ldf, for which the default size is 1.25 MB. And next is resource database. Resource database is also a system defined database that is hidden from the user view, like as another system defined database. If we see our SQL Server, where directly we can't see the system resource database here, so that means nothing but this database is hidden from the user view. And the resource database is responsible for physically storing of all the SQL Server system objects. This database has been created to improve the upgrade and rollback of SQL Server system objects with the ability to override only this database. Means all the objects code will be physically stored in this database. To see the code, we have a function called system function called object definition. We can view the contents of the resource database using this function. So one of the sample example is select object definition of sys objects. To see that, this is the query that we have. Select object underscore definition of object ID sys dot objects. So this is the code that physically stores in our resource database. So here the sys.objects is a view, and the view is with the details of these attributes. And the resource database is a read-only database, and that is not accessible via the SQL Server tool set. And the resource database does not have an entry in master.sys.databases. If we query this, we will not see the resource databases. Let me show you again. So this here, the entry for resource database is not available. And TempDB, next one is temporary database. It is used to store the temporary tables, global as well as the local temporary tables, and table variables, cursors, working tables, row versioning, create or rebuild indexes, and sorted in TempDB etc. Each time the SQL Server instance is restarted, all the objects in this database are destroyed, so permanent objects cannot be created in this database. So wherever we create a temporary table, irrespective of the database, the components will be stored in TempDB, and these get refreshed once we restart the SQL Server. And model database. So model database is a template database for all user-defined databases. Means once we create a database, based on the model that we defined in the model databases, it takes those components and creates a database. It contains objects, columns, and users. Means user-defined tables, stored procedures, user-defined data types etc. can be created in the model database and will exist in all our future user-defined, user-created databases. And the database configurations such as the recovery model for the model database are applied to future user-defined databases as well. And next one is Msdb, primary database to manage the SQL Server agent configurations. Here the agent configurations are nothing but SQL Server agent jobs, operators and alerts, DTS package storage and SSH package storage. It provides some of the configurations for the SQL Server agent service as well. Even though the SQL Server agent service does not exist, the instance still has the Msdb database. Means by with the installation we may not get this agent service till the Msdb database will be available in our system databases. Example, here if we create a database maintenance plan to take backup of the particular database on a daily basis, then each and every time an entry will be made to sysjobs table in Msdb database. Next one is a distribution database. The primary data to support SQL Server replication means whenever we are doing any replications, the database is responsible for the replication metadata and supports the data for transaction replication between the publisher as well as the subscribers. And report server, the primary database for the reporting services to store the metadata and object definitions. So here the key functionality is report security, job schedules and running jobs, report notifications and report execution history. Those details will be available in our report server. And other one is report server Tempdb. It is for the temporary storage for the reporting services, means session information as well as the cache information will be available in our temporary database of report server. So this all about our system databases in our SQL Server. Thank you.